But since we're on the topic of politics and things, politics and celebrities, which is a big thing now, politics and celebrities. So Cynthia Nixon,
right,
from Sex and the City fame,
Sex and the City,
is now running for governor of New York State.
Yes.
It's just interesting just saying that.
Right.
But to make it even more interesting, one of her major points of interest is what? Legalizing
marijuana for recreational use. Because the medicinal's already here.
Right.
But for recreational, so kind of going Colorado style.
Right.
In Cali too, isn't it?
California also went this year.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, where do we begin with that?
It's very, you know what?
Does she have any political background?
No, but that doesn't matter anymore.
But now, right. What's her Twitter account? We gotta follow on Twitter.
You gotta have a Twitter account and you gotta rant a couple of times.
Right.
Honestly, it doesn't really matter because Arnold Schwarzenegger had no political background.
He was married to Maria Shriver, who was a Kennedy.
Right. Yeah.
So she had guidance?
Just like
had more guidance.
Just like Bill Clinton.
He had more guidance.
married Hillary Rodham, who was a family of so.
Yeah, Arnold had more knowledge.
Well, you don't know. Maybe
politics.
she had. I mean, maybe she got some. She got some.
Right. I don't know. I don't know her.
Jesse Ventura. What was his word?
Right.
Eventually, Linda McMahon into politics.
Right, and she's a senator, right?
Right.
So, look, everything is possible.
6 degrees separation.
Look, there's no qualifications to be in office. All you got to be is a certain age and the right citizenship.
Ronald Reagan was an actor. Ronald Reagan was an actor before he became. He was governor first, I think, but then president.
I don't recall. But he was in California.
I think he was governor of California first, and then
I think
became president of the United States. So he was an actor. So this is not a new thing.
Right,
Maybe it's just more in abundance now, and we're in a Twitter.
Right. You know what it is? I think now it's that. I guess at that time you would say maybe because. Like Arnold, he was a big superstar, superstar.
Action hero.
Right, but now it's like B-list maybe. The hers is odd just because what Sex and the City was. It was a very mature audience program. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's not the one they show on E now where everything is
sensitive.
Right, HBO.
But you know what's interesting? It makes sense now in this Me Too era and women's rights are pushed to the forefront. Time's Up and all these other hashtags. That show was very feminist, forward thinking, empowering. Yes. So she may still have that bill. She may get more. If she ran for president, she might get more female voters than Hillary did. She might have a bigger female following. Especially in this day and age where they want Oprah to run. And
like I said, I don't know what's her.
And she's running for governor. I don't want to confuse
I don't know what's her extent of knowledge as far as political goes. But like I said, it doesn't matter.
But how many followers literally does she have? It's not her following, but her followers.
But not just that, but also the platform that you're running on, and that platform of legalizing weed, I think, is huge here, and just anywhere in the United States because it's too much money there. It's just too much money to leave on the table on a drug that has been classified so high that it's higher than cocaine.
Right.
And you can get, I don't know how many years you get for a stupid possession, and it's ridiculous. When meantime, these other substances are worse, like the opioids things. Those are legal,
and those are legal,
right? So it's just, I think it's just the times change, and now people see that the propaganda worked in the '60s when Nixon did it,
right?
And he admitted why he did it and why he did the war on drugs,
right? The war on drug dealers.
Everybody knows this. Everybody knows why he did it and then why it was totally just racial profiling. Everybody knows it. So now people are starting to move away from that, and they're starting to recognize that this it does have its purposes.
Because it's funny when bringing up the whole war on drugs thing. Like I said, the war on drug dealers. When you look at today, the biggest drug dealers are doctors. Because now the drug of choice is prescription pills, and so all you need is a pad. So it's no longer in the streets.
Right.
It's no longer the hand-to-hand.
They hand out the opioids. They hand out the the medicines for the
Xanax and Percocets and all that stuff is the issue now.
Yeah.
But there's no war on that.
Right.
There's no
why? Because that's regulated and taxed, and they get their cut.
Exactly.
So
and that's what it all comes. And again, it comes down to the money.
It comes down to the money, and I think I would just let it. Just legalize it. Get that money in. We need that money here. Look at buildings falling apart here and scaffolding falling on us.
It varies. I mean, New York is doing good where it wants to do good. I mean,
it has decriminalized weed for the most part.
It lowered it. It hasn't decriminalized.
Well, in terms of where it was, has come.
It pulled back, yes, but it's still not.
It's just like. I mean, to say decriminalization, or it's not saying it's completely legal or completely. It's no different than I say, yo, I hate you. Oh, you said something else. Like, no, I never said all of that. Like, you can't. I mean, if you say one thing and then you bring it back a little bit, you step back a little bit, it's still a somewhat of a decriminalization of it. It's not completely like that, but from where it was, it has fell back more and more, and that mainly is because of New York City. De Blasio actually did, say, less time on these kind of things.
Right, that's what it is. They just scaled back the penalty on it.
Stop and frisk.
They make you a fine instead of giving you 10 years, they're giving you a fine this time.
Which is still better than your life.
It's progress, yes, it's progress. But if they go that route and make it legalized, then you have this whole new revenue stream coming in to a city that needs it. I mean, look at them. TIA needs all this structural.
I mean, they got money. They just put some new stickers on the trains with arrows, to go and walk to the
wasting money on stickers.
And the E-train. You see, they revamped the E-train.
I don't know, man.
Take a ride on the E. There's Wi-Fi, but there's little animal prints on there and stuff.
All right, but getting back to Nixon's platform, her reasoning, she's saying yes, the money is good, but hers is going back to the social injustice. She just feels that for years, white, Americans have been able to get away with using weed more than minorities have.
Right.
So she feels that if that changes, then arrests will go down of minorities, of these kinds of things, because they're still targeted now, even with the less.
Should that black vote, huh?
They still.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. Do we feel she really believes that, or is she just saying that for vote?
Why wouldn't I mean? I don't know. I don't know her, so I can't say.
Right.
But
she could actually be onto something, which I think that's kind of the trend of America now. We're kind of leading into
we need more progressive thinkers.
Right.
That's what it is. Bottom line.
'Cause I think back when they had the whole weed or marijuana was outlawed, was because forgot who was the president at that time. Was flown out, the son. I can't remember the story exactly like that, but I remember also seeing, hearing that monkeys, back when they were having, the mask on their face and so forth, you were pumping marijuana into them, like they had no oxygen. So of course, if you have a mask and you're only pumping in certain things into me, and I can't breathe, yeah, I'm gonna die. So that was a whole idea behind marijuana being this horrible drug.
So more classic misdirection.
It was right, but it was a lot of because it was Nixon that started the whole war on drugs. They classified it that way because it was multiple things. If you read a lot, there's more info, but one part of it they say was not just that because of black votes, but also because of the lobbyists of the paper industry, because hemp was starting to become popular. Hemp is, you can grow it real quick because it's a weed, it's not a tree, and it's they can make a lot of it, and you can make clothing and all this nonsense from it. So it was becoming too much that they felt that their industry was going to be threatened.
And you had hippies at the time.
Right. And so then, so then they're like, oh, but look, you don't want to be like these hippies here in the grass and blah, blah, blah. So they spun it another way. They spun it, they're like, no, that's bad for you.
Right.
They go this way.
Hippies have also made a return right now. The hipsters are now the thing now. So.
But yeah, it just comes down to that. It's always going to come down to money and money.
you can make. I mean, if you can find a way, because they made money off of other things that will kill you more, or just likely to kill you. Cigarettes,
Yep.
Alcohol.
Cigarettes and alcohol. Alcohol is one of the biggest one because people get drunk, they drive, they kill
That's
people.
what I'm saying. But
Yeah.
meanwhile, alcohol has not been outlawed since prohibition, and that was what the 20s, 30s, something like that.
Yeah,
But
something like that, yeah.
like marijuana, of course, conspiracy theories. You've had U.S. government, CIA, and so forth. Having drug lords in Colombia.
We fund a lot out of them.
That's what I'm saying. But like the whole heroin trade or coke trade. We had that come here, flood the streets. Here and so forth. So the government probably has made money off of.
Oh no, not even probably.
No,
They definitely have.
No. But I'm saying, but we can't talk about that on the books.
Right.
But now marijuana. To understand like the whole just say no to drugs. Things of our era. Those.
Because it didn't work.
It has definitely been shown that there has been more proof to saying that it's not as bad as cigarettes.
It's not. It's not as bad as cigarettes, and it's definitely not as bad as the other drugs that it's a higher.
Right.
So it was definitely misclassified on purpose, and it was demonized purposely, which I think just get out of the dark ages.
Connecticut had to try to find a way back to say damn, we could have really made some money for that.
Yeah, and now you could, like I'm telling you, just the hemp alone will create a lot.
But if you think about it,
Here comes a conspiracy theory.
no, it is. It is. And I'm gonna try to tie to Cynthia Nixon.
Okay.
And in terms of how it's progressed.
In New York.
No. I'm gonna try to tie it back to her. But if you think about it, marijuana, because all drugs, because the whole opium, I don't know why it's even a big deal now. White kids been high off of opioids for years and so forth. I don't know.
You just answered your own question.
Yeah, I don't know. No, I don't know why now it's like
They're dying more.
I can't. Yeah,
That's
like,
the problem.
Cause it's silly. But black, minorities, blacks, Hispanics, whatever. We were always the big time drug dealers. In our main drug that we were associated with was weed.
Yeah.
Government makes money off of prisoners.
Not the government.
No, well,
Right. It depends. They're private owned, and
Most of them are private owned. They they're cutbacks from the lobbyists.
Right.
Yes.
that's what I'm saying. So it all ties back
Yes, it
somehow.
all goes, yes.
So we were basically the whole we were the taxable commodities. Like we were going to jail, for weed possession, selling, distribution, and so forth like that. So now you've gone from making money off of us, not saying us as minorities, you made money off of us for years, just being prisoners.
Right.
Not so much for us selling a product that you didn't want to legalize because we will make money off it too. We can make legit money off it as well as the government can make legit money off it. They didn't want profit sharing like that. So now you go from saying, okay, forward thinking, how can I now appeal to black people, but also try to make money for ourselves. Let's make them not the criminals of drugs. Well, for weed, let's just say that. Let's make them less likely to do, to be these hardcore drug dealers and so forth. We're still going to be the drug dealers because we don't have planes. We're not flying. We can probably grow weed in our backyard, but we're not growing that much damn stuff to sell. So, the government's still going to make money off it anyway, whether it be us being in prison or whether it be at a retail shop. So you kill that profit of us being prisoners. Now you're going to say we're going to make it legal, help black people out allegedly. So let's make weed legal. And now New York has probably been one of the hardest states of that. I don't probably us in Texas have probably been one of the two hardest states when it comes to drugs. So Cynthia's whole idea of trying to make it nicer for black people and so forth is probably just another way of trying to say, look, we can find other ways to make money off of blacks. Then I'm not saying that's her stance, but I'm saying we can probably think of
views and opinions. And
the views and opinions are not Cynthia Nixon, but we can find ways to make money off of blacks not being prisoners and still make money for ourselves. So that's just a progressive way of thinking because she has the progressive view, of that. Everybody else, like these older people, to think, no, drugs is still bad. Yeah. Weed is still bad.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, we can make money off them other ways now.
Right. Well, eventually we'll see if she really believes that or if that's just her stance to get in.